Welcome to Off the Clock, presented by Atrium Health. I'm Kristen Balboni, the Panthers team reporter, and I am so excited to be reunited with my co-host, Nicole Tepper, the owner of the Panthers and Charlotte FC, and Maria Vanderford, our Panthers PR maven. It is so good to see both of your faces. We took a little bit of a break with the off season, but I am so glad that we're back, although I did not get the blue memo today.
We had a
we'll let you know.
Yeah, there's a group text that I'm being left off of with the outfit coordinations. Although I guess at least I'm wearing the black, so we're all doing Panthers colors.
Yes, ready for the season.
Yes, we are. And as I mentioned just a second ago, we are so excited to be partnering with Atrium Health for this show now. And we are even more excited because we just have an amazing guest coming up in a couple of minutes. We have a nurse who has been on the front lines of battling COVID here in Charlotte, and she is taking time on her off day to come talk to us, to come share her experience about what these last few months have been like for her and her coworkers at Atrium. And really, I'm just really excited to get a chance to thank her, which I know both of you are. And Nicole, I know this is something you've been wanting to do on this show for a long time, is to get to talk to our frontline heroes. So I can't wait. I know you can't either.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited. This has been a long time coming. You know, we wish we had more nurses on just to express how we feel, but this is perfect. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. So, like I said, it's been a couple of months. We took a little bit of a break with the off season. We all had a lot going on, but I'm so excited that we're back. We haven't gotten to see each other's faces in a while. I've gotten to talk with both of you here and there, but we're like, we miss each other. So we got to catch up first before we have our special guest on. Maria, you are in a suite right now.
Yeah, I am. A different background for sure.
So fill us in on these last couple of months, and especially this last week, because now you are in the stadium every day.
Last couple months, we're just kind of wrapping up interviews with players, doing some, few requests here and there. But last couple weeks, gotten back in the stadium, and it's been great to finally see these people face to face that I've had these phone calls and text conversations with over the past couple months.
And Nicole, I don't know how much you've been seeing all these press conferences come out this last week. Maria is hustling. She is back there. You know how she does. I mean, she's got these players coming in and out for their press conferences. She's on all of this stuff, and the burden is so much more now because we can't. Like, I'm currently still working from home, doing my interviews from home until it is safe for me to come in at a safe distance and talk to the players from a safe distance. So Maria's the one making it all, one of many who is making it happen for the rest of us right now, and you have just been killing it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's Bruce and I who are in here manning it on the ground. We've got that short window after the guys are out at walkthrough every day, and we're trying to hustle them up here and get them in here for these interviews for you guys, and then also give them time to eat and get back to their workouts and meetings. So it's been tight turnarounds at times, but it's been good to get to see these guys and put them out there for you guys.
And I'm sure they're so happy to be back.
There's just like this great positive energy, positive buzz throughout the whole building. Yes, things are different and they're not what they're used to, but I think everyone's just so excited to finally be around each other that it's contagious. Every time you talk to someone, it's like, oh my God, I haven't seen you. This is great. Like, it's just great energy around the building.
I think my challenge is going to be not being able to hug or interact like that. I'm such a hugger. It's going to be very hard.
What if you did that and you just came in with your hands behind your back? I know that you're going to be there soon. It's like,
I mean, that's going to be my biggest challenge, is not to be able to hug someone. It's going to be
What
hard.
you've got to do is get your chicken wings and give people like elbows. That's what everyone's been doing. They'll walk and they'll just like put up an elbow, and I'm like, this is so weird.
Well, we are glad that you are there safely keeping us all informed. And I know the players are so happy that they're back and to have you back and some of the rest of our staff that is making it all happen for the rest of us. Nicole, these last couple of months, like I said, I know it's been the off season, but you and Dave have been hard at work with a variety of different things. Charlotte FC launched. Oh my goodness. I mean, the secret's finally out. I bet that was just like a big relief.
Yeah, I mean, it was. The relief was seeing the reaction of the fans. It over exceeded our expectations for sure. I think the city of Charlotte I think the surrounding area of the city, I think they're really excited about soccer, which that makes me really happy.
It's awesome. And I had to ask because I hadn't had a chance to talk to you about it since it all happened. And then another thing that I want to mention, I know that you don't like to share these kinds of things, but I have to share it because it was so amazing to see you and Dave launch your scholarship programs.
I'm so excited. It's like my baby.
They're incredible. They're absolutely incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's going to help so many students in our communities in South Carolina and in North Carolina. So
yeah, I think it's been a long time coming. It's been in the works for a really long time. I think the difference between this scholarship program, whether it's at USC or Johnson C. Smith, the whole purpose of it is not just to give money and create a scholarship for money. I'm so excited for just being able to have a connection with the students and be with them all 4 years of their journey. And mostly this year, and really mentoring them is really what's most important. So I know people look at the, monetary value and think it's, that's the best part about it. And it is. And I feel blessed that I'm able to have that and do that and give back that way. But really, it's the hands-on work that I'm most excited for.
I just absolutely love it. I can't wait to hopefully get to meet some of those students, knowing how close you are to everything that you do. I know that they'll be, interacting with the rest of the Panthers family at some point. So I just think it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard work. They're going to have to work. They're going to have to keep up their grades and, have things that they need to really work towards and goals. But with COVID being such a crazy year and families really having such hardships, it really was important to start this now and really have that as the foundation. And it'll grow in different directions and there'll be different types of scholarships in the future, God willing. But, for now, this was really the right time because of COVID. And with Johnson C. Smith, I was over at the university or the college for a while, way before COVID, just kind of brainstorming on what we could do and how we could help. Just made sense right now to go in and help this way. But, there's no end. There's always open doors everywhere to keep doing more. So that's the exciting part.
Well, ladies, this has been an absolute blast getting to catch up on the last few months with the both of you. I feel slightly underaccomplished with all that both of you have done over the past couple of months. But right now, I am so honored to bring on our guest of honor. She is absolutely incredible, a local superhero that is Tontisha Massey. Tontisha is a registered nurse with the Medical Intensive Care Unit at Atrium Health's Carolinas Medical Center, which is the region's only level 1 trauma center. I mean, that's superhero status. What you do on a regular basis, and now with everything going on with COVID, and I know this is your off day. You just worked a 12-hour shift not too long ago. So Tantisha, thank you for talking to us, and thank you for all that you're doing for our community.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Can you just give us a little bit of background on you before we dive into what these last couple of months have been like for you? I know you are a Charlotte native, born and bred.
I am. I'm very rare around here.
You're
but
very rare.
All my life I've been here.
A Charlatine, it's called.
That's
right?
what they tell me. Yes.
Charlatine. I'm from North Carolina, but not Charlotte. So I didn't know Charlatine. I mean, I'm going to have to ask you for restaurant recommendations afterwards once we get out.
I got a few.
So tell us about your path to get to the MICU, as I know that it's called.
So I guess I probably took the scenic route to nurse and then to MICU. Always wanted to be a nurse. But decided to start a family and get married. So I did all that stuff first. And then I started at Atrium Health about 9 years ago as a medical assistant and working as a nursing assistant. Decided to go back to nursing school. So took a third shift position at night so I could go to school during the day and not have it, disrupt my family life too much. And 3 years ago, I became an ICU nurse.
That's
amazing.
Exactly. It's absolutely incredible.
It sounds so smooth as you're saying it, as this is what I did and this is what I did, but really it was hard work. Having a family and working and going to school, I can't even imagine what that's like. And so, but I just could hear it in your voice, just when you said, I really wanted to be a nurse. I don't think there would be anything that would have gotten in your way from seeing that through. And to me, that's a hero. That's a special person. It's just in your soul.
I love what I do. I knew this is the path that I wanted to take. Didn't necessarily take the traditional path, but it actually made it that much sweeter when I got to that goal of being a nurse, because I know how much time I put in. I know the sacrifices that my family made to make sure I was able to fulfill my dreams. So the fact that I get to do it every day is definitely a blessing.
It's clear that, I mean, you can handle anything, as evidenced by your route to getting to where you are today with raising a family and night school and all that you had to go through to become a nurse. So with that being said, I mean, we really are in this phase right now over these last couple of months where our healthcare workers are handling everything. And I can't imagine how hard that has been. So I'm just wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing with us what these last few months have been like for you.
So they've been pretty tough. I don't think any of us really do well with not knowing or not having a clue of the direction that we're going. So there have been a lot of unknowns, and we've been trying to figure out day to day, hour to hour, patient to patient, the traditional care that we give, whether or not it works. And I think for us, we always like to see improvements in progress, and we like to see it quickly. And that has not necessarily happened with these patients. So sometimes it gets a bit tough because you're waiting, you're waiting for that glimpse that they're making a turn, they're getting better. And that process has taken a lot longer. So you kind of take that home with you. It kind of gets on you a little bit because, you want to see the interventions that you give to your patients actually make that difference. So we're kind of like playing a waiting game. We don't like to wait. We like instant stuff. We want to see it now. And because it's not happening when we do it, and we have to wait for, that patient to respond or wait for that treatment to really take effect, sometimes you kind of get a little down on yourself, and you push harder, you work harder, you dedicate more time. So you kind of take it home with you. It's a bit difficult, but we make it work. I mean, we have a great team. We support each other. So that in itself has really gotten us through this process.
So how has it been? So COVID patients come in, or, typically right now, COVID patients, because it's been so crazy with cases, and families can't be there by their side for their loved ones. That has been such a challenge on both ends for you, for, your coworkers, and then for the families. Have you experienced that with, having to translate this information back to the families, knowing that they're not there?
So we've actually become their family. I mean, we've always tried to, I guess when we advocate for our patients, it's typically the patient and the family together. And we're kind of the go-between between like all the ancillary services and the physicians and things like that. And giving information and sometimes doing education with the family and patient. But when you don't have the family at the bedside and the patient does not have that support system that they normally would have, you have to now be the go-between the family and the patient, because we don't just take care of the patient, we also take care of the family. They are an extension of each other. So we have to make sure everybody's okay. So we've become their family. You have these ties now because they're staying with us a lot longer, and you become very, very invested. And I find that to be a struggle, because when you take somebody in under your wing and they are your family, it's not something that you can turn off and turn on when it's convenient. You kind of carry it with you all the time. So it's been difficult for families not being able to be bedside with their loved ones that are really sick. So we've had to get creative, things like FaceTiming with the family and the patient, so they can actually see each other and they can still give that support even though they're not directly beside them. We do a lot more updates and phone calls with the family to kind of give them indication of where the patient is from the last time they talked to somebody, and what updates we got from the physician. The physicians are making more calls, but really trying to keep people in the loop, because it's very uncomfortable to be so far away from your loved one when you're used to being at their bedside when they have to go through something like this.
As you just mentioned, there's lots of downs and tough times in being a nurse, but I'm sure there's also many, inspiring and uplifting times as well. What would you say is the most inspiring, or what do you enjoy the most about being a nurse?
I enjoy the resilience of our teammates and our patients. So when they come in, they're really sick, they go through a lot, but you can see them continuing to fight, continuing to, trying to be as positive as possible, trying to get better. And we see our teammates as a stronger unit. So we always depend on each other, but we've never had to depend on each other the way we have here recently in the last few months. So when we have to uplift each other, we have to uplift our patients. We checking in, more often than we normally would, just to make sure everybody is okay. Because, we have to be a family. It has to work that way. If, one person is having a bad day and, or struggling, we all have to pitch in to make sure not only are our teammates okay, but that we're taking care of the patient and still delivering excellent care. We never want a drop in our care. So we have to lift each other up, and we've been doing it.
I absolutely love that. And I think, it's obviously with us being a part of the Panthers, we talk so much about having good teammates, and not just, the people that are on the field. I count these two women as incredible teammates to me, who have made me feel welcome and part of the family when I started. And I can only imagine in life or death situations and shifts that you walk into, how important that is to really rely on the people, like you said, that you call your teammates, that you call your family every day. You did mention being these patients' family because their own family can't be there. And then you've talked about having your own family at home. So how has that been, kind of having to, I guess, compartmentalize, although I personally can't know how you could do that every day? How has that separation, if there is any, between all the things that are going on at work and then coming home and being a mother been for you over these past few months?
So I will tell you, my family is actually a big motivator of keeping me focused at work. The time that I spend home, the reason why I try to make it so normal is to give me an escape for what I deal with at work. So when I come home, they give me some time to decompress and, at least shower and maybe get something to eat. But we try to make it as normal as possible. I don't really talk to them much about the things that are going on at work. For one, I don't think they really understand a whole lot of it because nobody else in my house is in the healthcare field. So I try not to unload on them. When I'm with my teammates and we kind of debrief about our shifts, we kind of purge a little bit before we come home. So therefore, when I come in here, even though I'm carrying some of that home with me, it still allows me to have some energy for my family and to have them to actually refuel me. Like, I need the love and support from them. So the attention that I get from them when I get home, making things normal, like an everyday thing, as if outside, nothing's, really going on. That refuels me and kind of remotivates me when I go back, to deal with my patients. So I try to make things normal, and not really, bring that home, because I would never want to lay that stress on them, something that I'm carrying. And then they spend more time worrying about, well, is mom going to be okay? And, she looks really, really tired today. I don't want them carrying that with them. So I try to do some decompressing before I come home.
The words of a true hero, for sure. I mean, it's unbelievable. How old are your kids?
So I have a 15-year-old. Stop it. She's talking to me. I have a 15-year-old. She's almost 16. I have a 12-year-old son. And then I have my two nephews that are 11 and 7.
So they're going through a bunch of different things with school and, sports and things being canceled. So I'm sure it's just a whole bunch of everything in your house with all the different ages and
right.
And that's been a little challenging too, I'm sure.
It has been. I mean, I give a whole lot of more respect to teachers, because I never thought I would be homeschooling kids in all these different grades and trying to make it work. but we've had to do it. My older two definitely support the younger ones, and then I have my husband and myself here at home too, during the day that helps the kids. But it hasn't been easy. I mean, they have tons of energy and they're used to getting out of the house and being able to go places and do things. And we have had to be creative on activities at home, in light of trying to social distance and, not being around, groups of people right now.
I don't know how you do it. I'm sitting here and I'm just like, oh my goodness. I mean, it's amazing. And just your energy, your spirit, you're so positive. And you have, so many things going on at work, and you're dealing with, all of these vibrant children at home, like you said, homeschooling now. And I'm just in awe of you. Tantisha, I think you're amazing.
Thank you.
Down some tips, so just like don't unload on anyone when you get home, and normalize that. I mean, you just really, you're a superwoman. I don't know how you do it all. Since we're only getting a chance to talk to you, though, and I know that you have, as you've said over and over again, a great team.
Right.
What do you want to tell us about the people that you work with every day? Because I know you said that's kind of your support system. What can you share with us about your coworkers and how you guys have kind of handled all of this?
My coworkers are awesome. They're very, very resilient. Again, which I said before, like, we can't do this job alone. There is not one day that I go in for a shift that I'm thinking like, yep, I got it covered. I can do this all by myself. We're going to have a great night, and then I'm going to go home in the morning. That is never the mindset I have coming in. We have to come in believing that this is a 24/7 job. Most of us work 12-hour shifts. So there's somebody that's going to come in behind us and pick up the pieces. There's somebody that's going to hold us up for our 12 hours. It's literally a lot of team nursing. So we have our respective patients that we primarily take care of, but things like turns and baths and, any type of patient care, getting somebody up out of the bed, it takes more than one person. And depending on what the task is, it can take up to 8 to 10 people. And it's not just nurses. It's the nursing staff. We have respiratory therapists. We have PT and OT that comes and help us. We have our interpreters that help us, doctors and residents that help us. I mean, it takes a village to take care of this unit. You cannot do it alone. And we go in with that mindset, knowing that we're not just taking care of our patients, and it's never even about us. It's always about them. So we build up whatever strength that we have, and we join together. And if we have to go room by room and do things to take care of our patients, that's what we do.
Well, hopefully when things get back to normal, I could come to the hospital. I've been wanting to come and visit you all so bad. So I'm hoping when this passes, I could come in and honor you the way you all should be honored. And, you really are all true heroes in my heart, and I'm sure for Maria and Kristen and the whole Panther organization. We honor you. We thank you. We can't thank you enough for, doing what you do every day, and being a mom, a woman, a wife, a mother, an aunt, a friend, a neighbor. It's just
the list goes on.
And the list goes on.
Well, I appreciate that. I love what I do. Just doing what I do is motivation to keep doing it. But going through this with a great group of people, with a great support system, it makes all the difference in the world. I would not be able to get through the day-to-day without the people that support, my daily life and shifts during this process. It's difficult for everybody. So everybody has their struggles with it. But I'm fortunate to have a great group of people around me that definitely help motivate me and get me through the day-to-day.
Talk about getting through the day-to-day. I'm barely getting through this interview. I feel like I've been close to tears the entire time. You're just so inspiring. I mean, Nicole said it best, just all the things that you do, and you do it with such a positive attitude. And I mean, you make it look so easy and so joyful, and it's just amazing. So thank you. I don't want to take up too much of your off day. I know you just got off of a 12-hour shift not too long ago, but I do want to ask before we let you go. We call it
Sure.
Go Off the Clock. So, we were just wondering, Charlotte born and bred, do you ever watch any football when you're, off the clock at all?
I'm a huge football fan. Love football. Most times live and breathe football. My husband think I'm rare because I'm a girl that knows a lot about football, and sometimes I kind of antagonize him about how much we know.
Welcome to the club.
Based off,
yeah.
So I find it very entertaining that, we really sit down and we get into the logistics of football in the game. But I was born and raised here. But I'm a little older, so we didn't have a football team when I was a kid. My mom loved football. She said, we were watching football on Sundays. You have to pick a team. It doesn't have to be mine, but you have to pick one. So when I was a kid, San Francisco 49ers was on TV every Sunday. That's the team I knew, so that's the one I picked. And I think it was probably like 7. So I'm a lot older than 7 now, and I'm very loyal. Now, when we did get the Panthers, I do support them. But the downside to all of this is if we're both doing well, we see each other in the playoffs, and that's when the problems pop up. Because my husband is a diehard Panther fan. So, he's been trying to convert me for years, and it hasn't happened. But he does have my support.
I come across these type of conversations with a lot of people in Charlotte. You're obviously born and raised, but there is a lot of Panther fans that are now Panther fans, but they were from someplace else, whether it was New York or Pittsburgh. And so they grew up, rooting for another team, but being in Charlotte. And then when the Panthers, came about, they started, their kids have become Panther fans from inception.
Absolutely.
So those are interesting stories and fun. But we'll turn you over. We'll get you in. We'll reel you in a little bit. Don't worry.
But you definitely got my husband on your side. He's been working on me for years.
We'll work on you. Don't worry.
We're not giving up hope
myself in here.
We're not giving up hope on you. As long as we have your support and your spirit, then we're okay.
You definitely have it. I mean, they definitely been working on me, and I'm a minority in my house at this point because I'm the only one that's not a Panther fan. So they've been trying to convert me. They buy me T-shirts and you gonna wear this, and I'm like, I'm not gonna wear the shirt. But I do. I mean, it's a bit of a conflict because when we meet up in the playoffs, I find myself cheering all the time. The Panthers will do something good, and then I'll cheer, and I'm like, wait, they're playing 49ers. Right. And then the 49ers will do something good, and now I'll cheer from them. And my husband is looking at me like, you're so confused.
This is the stories that I love because I feel like this sport, it just brings family together. And this is just another reason why, we do what we do is because of these stories. Having banter and having this team or this player or that player, it just makes, they say the world go round, but it makes, the sport go round. And that's what's so fun, and you meet new people during it, and you have all these, even the young players that come in, the rookies, I'm sure they were rooting for a team when they were younger, and now they're a Panther, and it's just so fun. And so those are fun stories. And now you'll be able to come home and watch football, hopefully after your shifts, right?
I am banking on that. That's going to be another, good refill for me. I'm waiting on football. I've been waiting, and I'm excited for the new season to start.
Us too. And Tantisha, we are such huge fans of you, and we appreciate all that you do for Charlotte, for our local community, you and all of your coworkers at Atrium. We are very, very grateful, and we feel like we're in great hands with all of you. So thank you again for everything that you're doing and for taking this time in the midst of all you have going on to talk to us. We really, really appreciate it.
I thank you guys so much for providing a platform and offering the opportunity for me to come and talk to you guys. Again, I love what I do, but it's things like this to be able to talk to people and kind of give them an insight of what we do and get a better understanding of where we all are, that actually keeps me going. So I definitely appreciate you ladies and actually giving me the platform to do this today.
Well, we're so happy to have you, and we're so proud of you and your team, everyone at Atrium. We thank you so much. I mean, from the bottom of our hearts, really. It's like Kristen said, we feel like we're in good hands with you.
And we do our best every single day. So that's our goal, is to provide excellent care, and that's what we strive to do every single shift.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.